was SoccerBeat. Talking Banyana Banyana. Sadly, out of the WAFCON, can't defend their title. Knocked out by Nigeria, who are obvious rivals to Banyana Banyana. And the team that everybody expects to go all the way, of course, as well. Banyana had the opportunities. I must say, it was a very beatable Nigeria in that second half. Maybe not in the first half. There was a lot to discuss. I've got Shakes Ngwenya here joining me. Need you guys to subscribe. Over 70% of you guys apparently still don't subscribe. So it's very interesting. We need you guys to please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button as well, just to let us know you're in the comments, and leave us a comment as well about this engagement, talking Banyana against Nigeria. That's the end of WAFCON, Shege. In terms of defending the title. They can't go all to the final, but there's still third and fourth place to play for. Not the ideal way, for Jermaine Seopo Senior, who's been one of the stalwarts of this team, especially the team that lifted the trophy as well. This was their opportunity to defend it. Of course, many people will say it was not a full-strength Banyana without Tebi Kgatlana.
Yeah, I'm checking. Disappointing in the end, as a South African, been supporting Banyana Banyana throughout the tournament, and they are our defending champions. So it's sad to see them bow down in this fashion, Umjaka. I thought they gave too much respect to Nigeria, especially in the first half. I think they were too passive, waited for Nigeria to act. They reacted to everything, but unfortunately, we conceded that goal when it seemed like there was a shift of momentum and they were starting to get on top of the game. And fortunately, we conceded that goal and good enough. The girls showed character once again, which they've done in this whole tournament, and they came back from behind to score that equalizer. And I think the momentum now was on Banyana Banyana's side. You thought they will come up with something. Nigerians were starting to tire, and Banyana Banyana was starting to string those important passes, that we know they can string, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. We conceded another silly goal, another goal we could have prevented, to come in. And Nigeria, our rivals, they get the better of us again in this semi-final. And unfortunately for Jermaine, it's a sad way to go out. You would have loved to be in that final, and close that kettle down on a high note, winning and defending that WAFCON. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be for our girls. Nevertheless, I'm proud of the girls. I thought they showed a lot of character, And yes, you can't help but to miss the likes of your Themba Kgatlana, who gives you so much in terms of her pace and her goal-scoring prowess, So, she was missed in this WAFCON, We've scrapped through these results to get to the semi-final, But at the end, you really need those quality players to do the job for you.
And it look the way we got the penalty as well. It looked like speed was going to win us this game. And Tembi's got all of that. Tembi's got all the speed that we needed in this game. And of course, the finishing as well. Jermaine is usually a creative spark in this team, but she had to carry the load as the lone striker, with a little bit of help, of course, from rookies, ladies who haven't got the experience to do it at this level. So Jermaine, it fell on her to do everything. And in this case, unfortunately, Tembi was not there. That speed, Mshege, you can't help but feel like, hey, even if you had Tembi for 30 minutes, you could have got a result here.
Yeah, Umjaka, that's true, I think that's one of the Banyana Banyana strengths, that pace. And Tembi is the one who provided that pace going up front. I think it's something that would have worried the Nigerian defenders. They are very physically strong, but when it comes to the pace, I think that's the advantage of our girls. With the speed up front, and the likes of your Linda, they can thread that quality pass through, but you need that player to make those runs, and to turn the defenders around, the Nigerian defenders around, so that we can be dangerous. But it wasn't to be Mshege.
Shege, we obviously have to touch on the injuries that happened. Makubela early on, making a goal line save there. When it looked like Nigeria were going to take the lead early in the game. So the defensive structure now has to change. Gamede has to move from midfield and now has to operate in defense. Okay. Then the penalty happened. Maybe because of the adjustment, but Banyana came back into the game. We then lost also Salgado in the second half again, who was working hard. I do want to say she was getting tired, but she was a workhorse anyway. She was making things difficult for Nigeria to get through and find space through Banyana.
Yeah, definitely, Mchaga. I think it did disrupt the flow of the game. The first injury. Makubela was doing so well. As you mentioned, that goal line is a save. Just showing character there and never giving up. Saving that opportunity that Nigeria had there when we were under pressure. So yeah, I think it did disrupt the flow of the game. Also, I hope the second injury, Jaga, our girl, I hope she's fine. Yeah, so Soldado, I hope she's fine because it looked like a bad one, looking at the reaction of the other players, I hope it's not a broken leg, even though I suspect so, because you could see how the other girls were just holding their faces, some of them crying, so I hope she can come back from. I hope she can come back from that injury. But I think even after those substitutes, Mjaga, I think the girls started growing into the game. They started stringing the passes, but yeah, not enough. Attempts at goal, testing that Nigerian goalkeeper, and if you don't test the goalkeeper, you can't win games. If you don't take shots at goal, you can't win games. So we hardly did that this game. And they looked more dangerous. So, in all honesty, I think they deserve to win because we gave them too much respect, especially in the first half. Second half, I think we came out strong, but we can still be proud of the girls, for what they've achieved. And it's not all over, Jaga. They still got that third and fourth place playoff. I think they need to be proud of what they achieved and to go back to the drawing board. There's still a lot to play for. That bronze medal is important, to play for, especially us as the defending champions in Banyana Banyana. But yeah, the girls need not to drop their heads, but to push on and get that bronze medal.
A little bit, Nshege, a little bit of controversy, of course. Don't you wonder sometimes if things in terms of preparation would have gone smoother, and the girls didn't have to fight for their money when they got to the tournament, Don't you sit there and wonder, if things would have just been smoother, maybe, just maybe, the team might have not labored as much as they did throughout this tournament.
Yeah, Jaga, it's disappointing to have to come back here again. I remember very well, even the last time we were having this conversation when Banyana was playing, and they're always going into these tournaments with side problems, side issues. That doesn't help the game, doesn't help our girls, it doesn't help us. Moving forward. We need to fix these off the field issues. So that the girls are mentally ready for the game and they give their all. But if you've had these things that are lingering behind, like the payments, the bonuses and stuff, those things definitely will affect a player, in terms of giving all the focus to the game, So that's disappointing that we're still stuck on those issues,
I'm Shege. Let's end it on that note, on that downward spiral note, because that's what it feels like at the moment. It stings, Shege. I can't lie. We have to finish there and highlight and say there are issues that are waiting for us, but the girls still have to play for third and fourth place. So we'll support them all the way to at least come back with a medal. It almost feels like a consolation prize, but a consolation prize with that's called a medal. Ain't too bad, or Ganja and Shake.
Yeah, Mjaga. I mean, yeah, not all is lost. We can still play for that medal, We were the defending champions. but we were playing a very tough Nigerian team, let's be honest, very physically strong, and you saw what they did. Even in the previous game, they scored 5, so it shows their striking prowess and where they are, compared to where we are in terms of what we are missing up front, in the likes of your Thembi Kgatla.
And I want to give the fans the task to go and look how many other teams scored against Nigeria in this tournament, and then they come back in the comments and let us know. So, not a bad team to lose against.
Tough team to crack.
Thanks for your time, Shege. Banyana Banyana lose out. They're gonna play for that 3rd and 4th place. For now, let the beat do the talking.